Hi, Eric Gibaud, Gibaud.com, and today I'm going to speak about this Sniper series by Sirui. Three lenses, 23, 33mm and 56mm. Autofocus opens at 1.2. Okay, so we're going to have a look at it. But I've got good news for you if you're the typical romantic that looks for a cinema look. You are going to love them. But yes, maybe I've got bad news for you. Maybe you are one of these YouTubers who reviewed them and see a lot of sharpness. They say they're razor sharp. Honestly, rush urgently to somewhere so they can check your view, your sight, your eyes, okay? Because honestly, if you see only sharpness in these lenses, you have a problem. So let's start. I know, I should not criticize my co-YouTubers, but normally I don't watch any other video until I've made my own test, okay? But I received these lenses later than others because there was maybe a firmware problem with the Fujifilm X version, so they sent me the latest one. I updated the firmware, so I made more review, but I'd seen many thumbnails of videos saying they're really sharp, razor sharp, and things like this. So when I did not find out this result, I checked others' video and almost no one told what I found. A few did, like Pierre Boisseau, a French guy, Belgian guy, sorry. And these lenses are great for many things, but not for everything. And so I think it's important to be honest, because someone who wants to buy this needs to know when he can use it and what it is for, not for anything, okay? So yeah, please stop the hype and tell the truth. At 1.2, these lenses are not razor sharp, okay? For me, they're great lenses, but it doesn't mean they're razor sharp at 1.2. So let's carry on and tell more about it, okay? Yes, I know maybe some YouTuber who see my video will get offended, so they could criticize my framing, so I reframe so you don't see the electric socket on the wall, okay? Okay, so let's be serious, okay? Let's speak about this. In the box, you will find this. You can't get them all three together or separately, okay? If you get the 56mm, the sun hood is this way, classical, okay? And if you look at the 33 and 23, you have tulip style sun hood, okay? This one has, well, the one I got was black with a carbon fiber style, these parts. It also exists in ceramic white and also in silver, kind of aluminium. And all three together, you can buy them together, all three. They're less than €1,000 for the three of them. So it's really affordable, I think. But obviously it depends on your interest. Price is irrelevant when you're not interested in a product, obviously. And if you're interested, then you want to know price. I think price is really good. Okay, I'll leave you links in the description where you can buy it anyway. And so this way you have an updated price. Well, this is what you get in the box. So now let's speak about what they do and show you some pictures and my opinion. Okay, so the build is really nice, I think. Here you have a manual focus ring. I know it says autofocus, but if you want to manually focus, it's here. The way it's made here is like a bit classical, smaller squares, I don't know, okay? Here it's a bit lower, the part where it's carbon fiber style, and some people will be bothered by that. I'm not. I like it because I know if I'm on the focusing ring or not. I like it. And here you will find a USB-C connector, so you can update the firmware. I've got the latest version. I updated the firmware, okay? And the way it holds in your hand, it's really nice. I like it. It's not too big, not too small. I used it on the Fujifilm X S20, yeah, the size is fine. And I like to be able to hold properly when I do a portrait, although my camera has an IBIS, but still, I think, yeah, I really like it. They all have the same size, 92mm long, okay? And the weight is similar, we're going to see that. And yeah, I think the build is, the quality looks really premium, really nice. I like it. Okay, so let's speak a bit more in details. Although I tested the lenses with my Fujifilm X S20, it exists for Fujifilm X mount, for Sony E mount, but it is APS-C, don't forget. So just APS-C Sony, okay? And Nikon Z. So for example, the Z50, well, that's fantastic because they don't have many APS-C lenses. So, well, good news if you have Z50, for example, okay? If we compare to a full frame equivalent, the 23 will be like a 35mm full frame, the angle it covers, okay? 33 will be like 50 and 56mm like 85mm as we got the angle it covers, okay? And if we speak about the autofocus, well, honestly, it is really fast. I tried it in low light. I had no problem with the autofocus whatsoever. Face detection, eye detection, all this, it worked, everything worked. Okay, so perfect. The aperture goes from 1.2 up to f16, so it can get really a lot of light in there, or really short, really shallow depth of field, depends how you want to see it. The size, all three have the same size, 92.2mm without sunshade, and the weight varies depending on the lens. The 23mm weighs 380 grams, the 33mm weighs 400 grams, and the 56mm weighs 419 grams, okay? Only, well, depends on the mount. The mount maybe the Sony and the Nikon may be a bit different, but the difference between the lightest and the heaviest is 40 grams only. So if you're going to use these lenses on a gimbal, that's good news, because probably you don't have to change anything regarding the balance of the gimbal when you change them, okay? So no problem. The diameter of the filter is 58mm on all three. So if you use any filter for mist or whatever, you can swap it from one lens to the other one without needing different sizes, so that's really good. As I said, you have USB-C port to update the firmware. If we look at the optical build, the 23mm has 12 elements in 11 groups, the 33mm 11 elements in 10 groups, and the 56mm 12 elements in 11 groups. If we look at the aperture blades, 11 blades, and you actually can see that the point of light are completely round at 1.2, but also at 2.8, okay? They don't start to have like a sides. You need to close a lot more to have this sides effect, okay? So yeah, really nice. I think people are searching for this kind of bokeh that is really creamy and has this round point of light. They will like it. The minimum focusing distance is 30 centimeters on the 23mm, 40 centimeters on the 33mm, and 60 centimeters on the 56mm. Honestly, I think for the 56mm that's enough. You can get a close-up shot, so that's fine. And yes, I think the minimum focusing distance is fine for all of them. Okay, so here we get to the image quality, and this is where I've got some different opinion with some YouTubers and similar to some others. Okay, first of all, I think these lenses are not for anything and not for everyone. It depends what you want to do. Not everyone will like them. Some people will love them, okay, but it's not for just anything, okay? It's really specialized. Actually, it reminds me of a lens I had, which is the Leica Noctilux 1.0 M mount. That is almost never sharp at any aperture, but you don't actually buy it for the sharpness. You buy it for the out of focus part, the way it looks, the point of light, the creamy bokeh, all this. This is what people are looking for when they use that kind of lens, okay? So if you use these lenses at 1.2, it is because you want that. For you, the sharpness of your subject is not key. What's important is the aspect of the out of focus part, okay? Otherwise, you will use it at 2.8, f4, 5.6, f8. But when you're on 1.2, this is what it is for the autofocus part. Forget about the subject, okay? So, for small flowers, for small details, even some portraits, sometimes you want to have just the eyes, but there you will not have much sharpness anyway. But still, well, it reminds me like the softer filter, Softar. I actually have on my, yeah, Softar it's called. I've got on my Hasselblad analog well, film camera, and it's, yeah, it takes out the small defects of the skin and things like this. Also, there was a Canon lens, I remember, maybe of the brand also. You had like the focusing ring and also a soft focus ring, so you would take out a bit of sharpness for portrait. It reminds me of this, okay, or like a mist filter. So yes, I think this lenses works this way, okay. If we look at these two pictures right now, one is yeah, out of the camera, and the other one is with some I sharpen with Topaz Sharpen AI, and that's great on the lips and on the eyes. So the great things is you can easily add some sharpness on some areas, and the skin, you don't even need to actually yeah, work on it. It's still, well, maybe some spot or whatever, okay, but yeah, you don't need to soften the skin. It's straight away great out of the camera, so it's really natural. So I really like this point, and you don't have to add sharpness on the eyes or the lips or the hair. Depends on your taste. I like to do it, but in this case it's a soft, really soft portrait, and for some people they will love it. I would not use it for product photography, okay, but for portrait, the 56mm I think works this way. The 33mm, this is a focal length I'm not really fan of it. Of 50mm full frame, I'm not fan of it, okay. It's middle of the road, I don't really like it, but still some people love it, okay, and it's really similar. For the 23mm, I did observe some barrel distortion, and 1.2 on 23mm, I would not use it this way, because if you're on street photography, you want to see part of the street, most of the street. If you do landscape, you want to have some kind of sharpness. I would probably never use it at 1.2. I know some people do, okay, but none of these lenses have a really sharp picture on 1.2. The sharpness starts to appear on 2.8 f4. Okay, so for portrait, I used it on 2.8 and f4, and that was fine. I had to add a bit of sharpness, but that was fine. And if for landscape or street, I would use it on 5.6 f8 probably. Okay, so it's important to know that you cannot expect really a lot of sharpness on maximum aperture. If you think you're going to have a razor sharp lashes on a portrait at 1.2, forget it. It's not razor sharp, okay. And also I'll notice that with point of light there is some kind of haze, okay. That's nice. It's like a mist filter. So if you want a cine look, you will love it. But if you want some really precise, really really harsh point of lights, that's not the lens for you, okay. But still, I think they're great, but you need to know that, okay. While editing, I want to add a few things. First, this look is organic film look. Actually, many people think that a 24x36mm film is like 200 megapixel, and that's not the case. It's about 5 to 8, maybe 12 with a very fine grain. So with this kind of lens, this is what you would get, this look, okay. So on my 26 million pixel, that's fine, no problem, okay. But it's not hyper sharp, but it is sharp, but it's not super sharp. It has this film look, okay, organic look, like some people say, okay. I would say at 1.2, none of the three lenses is sharp at any point, okay. So for me, 1.2 is really if you do something really niche, really specialized, the small flower with everything out of focus around it, or small object, maybe a portrait where you want everything to be really soft everywhere except the eye or the nose or whatever, okay. But otherwise 1.2 is not really usable, okay. When we look at 2.8 f4, like on the 56mm, when I use it as portrait lens, the center is sharp, as I said before, the typical film sharpness, okay. It's the border that is not sharp. Is it a problem? But for me, for portrait, none at all, because actually this part is out of focus anyway, so you will not notice anything. On the 23 and 33mm, if you do some landscape, whatever, and you're under 5.6, then you will notice it. That would be a problem. So it all depends on what you do, okay? But the sharpness in the center is fine. It's on the border. The problem is there, okay? I also noticed a really strong chromatic aberration. You know, this purple fringing when you are against the light, like on the trees with the leaves, you really notice it. Same thing. Is it a problem? Depends what you do. For me, it's not a problem for what I do. But if I was doing a lot of picture against the light or with a bright source of light visible on the picture, that would be a problem. But for what I do, that's okay. So you need to know that depending on what you do. Flare. The 23 and the 56mm has some serious flare. I would say if you do some film look photography or film cine look video, you would probably like it because many people look for this kind of flare. But if you want the typical noise contrasty look of your landscape and you don't like flare, then that's not the lens for you, because yes, there is flare at every aperture, okay? So it's important you know it. What I noticed, on none of the lenses there is vignetting, so that's really good. Well, maybe you like vignetting, well, that's none, okay? At any aperture, 1.2, any up to 16, sorry, nothing, no problem, no flare at all. Really important. The fact that the sharpness is not really there at maximum aperture and up to f4, things like this, does not mean this is a bad lens, okay? These are bad lenses. Actually, many people looked after this look during many years, okay? And now it's back. People like this softer look, not this really sharp. So it does not mean these are bad lenses, but this is what they call character lenses, okay? A specific look. So in no way I could say these are bad lenses. They're just specific to this kind of pictures or video, okay? So you need to know that. So that's it. That's all I had to add during the editing of the video, okay? So let's carry on. So who are these lenses for? Well, I would say that anyone who wants to do video and likes this soft look, cinematic look, they will love it, okay? Actually, they have a series called Night Walker. I think they're the same lenses, or really similar lenses. These one are autofocus, and the other one are geared, so you can have follow focus and things like this, okay? But I think the look is really similar, and I think these lenses are cine lenses with autofocus, I would say, okay? So people want that, they will love it. If you do photography and you like this soft look, this yeah, like a film photography look, you will probably like it, okay? You will probably even love it. Especially the 56mm for portrait, I really liked it. Really nice, really nice. I did put some more sharpener. I sharpened a bit on eyes and lips, but it was not compulsory. You could do without, okay? I really loved it. So if you like this, you will like it. So the big difference between the Night Walker and this one are actually the autofocus. That works really fine, okay? So honestly, would I use these lenses at 1.2 aperture? Maybe if I want to have a small detail with all the rest out of focus, whether small flower or an eye or whatever, yeah, maybe, okay? But I would probably use it for portrait, the 56 and 33mm, I would use it for portrait, close-up or full body. Probably use it at 2.8 f4, likely, more than at 1.2. Still at 2.8, the point of light is still round, so that's nice for me. If we look at the 23mm, it's more complicated for me because I would never use it at 1.2 for photography. But maybe yes, I would for video, giving a special look, cine look, something out of focus and just a small part that is sharp. I don't know. Okay, for me my favorite was the 56mm anyway, and the 33 in the way that if I don't have enough length distance from my subject, that is okay to have the 33 instead of the 56, okay? But at 1.2 I would probably almost never use them, okay? If we look at general use, maybe at 5.6 f8 I would use it, and that would be fine. But the big question is, if you're never going to use it at 1.2, do you need to have this size of lens and this lens that opens at 1.2? If sometime you're going to use it, yes, but otherwise maybe it's better to get the Fujifilm 56mm 2.0. Obviously they have also a 56mm 1.2, but it's like 4 or 5 times the price. Okay, is it better or not? I don't know, I've not tried it. Okay, but if you could use the 50mm 2.0, if you're going to use it at 2.8, yeah, but it's still more expensive than this. Honestly, I think it's important to understand what these lenses are for. I think they're great lenses for what they pretend to do. Okay, and what they pretend to do for me is not sharpness. What they pretend to do is a special atmosphere, special look, something different. And yes, many people are a bit fed up with this National Geographic look. I like National Geographic, okay, but I think this really sharp, really contrasty, that looks like this Sony Black Trinitron TV set when they came out. It was really contrasty, really sharp, sharper I would say than your own eyes when you look at something, okay. And some people don't want that anymore. They want to have this more yeah, this more cine look, cinema look, more film look, and I think they will love it in this way. Okay, but it's important you understand how these lenses are thought and what are they are for. If you want to use them for video and with the cine look, you will love it. For photography, if you are looking for really sharp landscape, really sharp product photography, that's not the lenses you should go for. Okay, so it's important. If you understand what they're for, you probably will like them. So honestly, I think they are completely recommendable for what they're thought for. And if you're looking for really sharp, that's not the lens you should buy, because you will be disappointed. It's better to buy something else. And if you want to buy something from Sirui, they have other products, okay, that will love them too. Okay, so honestly, I think for what I've seen, I will use them for some situation, but not for any or every situation. Okay, so for portrait, my favorite of the whole film was the 56mm, honestly. And yes, I will use it for portrait in many situations. Not all of them, but in many situations. So for me, yes, they are completely recommendable. The build quality is great. The result they give is nice within this style. Okay, so yes, I think if this is what you're looking for, go for it. And the price is fantastic. So if you're interested, I'll leave you links in the description where you can buy it. So thank you so much, Sirui, for sending me the lenses. Thank you to you for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Small button down here is a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website, Gibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. I also leave you links of my gear on Amazon, links of everything I reviewed by K&F Concept, Sandmarc, and Flashes by Westcott, more affiliated links, and also a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.